Yes, sir.
So, we are in Act 3, Scene 4. It's in front of Othello's castle. Desdemona, Emilia, and a clown enter. So we start?
Yes, sir.
Right. Desdemona asks the clown, "Do you know Sirrah?" Sirrah. നമ്മുടെ മലയാളത്തിലാണെങ്കിൽ എടാ എന്ന് വിളിക്കുന്ന തുല്യമാണ്. Do you know Sirrah, where Lieutenant Casio lies? So a clown, as I have told you, he is a source of humor in Shakespeare's plays. And the humor comes out of his word play. The clown plays on the various meanings of words. Now here the question that Desdemona asks is, do you know where he sleeps? Do you know where he stays? His lodging. But lie has got another meaning. To tell lies, to be untruthful. So he is trying to play on the word. So the question put by Desdemona is, do you know, Sirrah, where Lieutenant Casio lies in, sleeps in? Then clown says, I dare not say he lies anywhere. I wouldn't dare say that he tells lies anywhere. So this is the wordplay. Now, why, man? Why do you say that? Desdemona, go to. Why, man? Then clown. He's a soldier. Casio is a soldier. And for one to say a soldier lies is stabbing. If I accuse a soldier of lying, of telling lies, then he would stab me. Because a soldier is supposed to be a very, very honest man. Now, can anything be, Desdemona again, go to, Poda, എന്നുള്ള മീനിങ്ങാണ്. Go to. Where lodges he? Now, where does he stay? Come on, where does he sleep? So she asks very, very specifically, where lodges he? Now, clown, to tell you where he lodges, to tell you where he sleeps, to tell you where he's sleeping, is to tell you where I lie. Is like telling you where I am lying. See, again, the play on words continues. Desdemona, can anything be made of this? Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean by this? Then clown says, I don't know, madam. I know not where he lodges. And for me, to devise a lodging, in fact, I don't know where he stays. I don't know where he sleeps in. I don't know where he sleeps in. I don't know where he is staying, and for me to devise a lodging. Now, to say, to tell you where he sleeps, where he stays, is to say he lies here and he lies there. This is the only way I can put it, because were I to lie in my own thought, now if I say, no, he's staying here or he's staying there, well, I will be telling a lies, because I don't know where exactly he's staying. Then Desdemona gives him a specific instruction. Can you inquire? Can you inquire? Can you find him out? Can you inquire him out and be edified by a report? You go ask around and find out and tell me. Then, clown, I will catechize. I will question people. I will catechism, the question and answer session in the moral classes, the moral lessons in the Bible moral lessons, in churches, catechism, question and answer. So catechism. So you please go and inquire. You go and inquire. You ask questions and you find out. Can you inquire him out and be edified by the report? Yes, I will catechize the world for him. I will find out. I'll ask questions. That is, make questions, and by them I will give you an answer. Then Desdemona, yes, seek him. Bid him come hither. Tell him to come here. Bid him come here. Tell him, I have moved my Lord on his behalf and hope all will be well. You tell him, please go. Tell him to come here, and also tell him that I have already spoken to my husband. I have moved my husband. I have moved my Lord. I have already spoken to my husband on his behalf, and I think everything will be all right. Everything will be all right. I hope everything will be all right. This is what he. So go and tell him this. Then, clown. But to do this is within the compass of a man's wit. Well, I think I can do that. This is all right. This is easy for me to do. Within the compass of a man's wit, I think it is easy enough. It is simple enough. And therefore, I will attempt the doing it. I'll go and do it. And he exits. He goes out. Desdemona. Where should I lose that handkerchief, Emilia? Look. So we are coming to Desdemona has sent out the clown to find out Cassio and ask him to come here, because she wants to give him an answer to his give him an answer about his reinstatement, about Cassio's reinstatement. She says, Desdemona says, she has already spoken to her lord, her husband, and everything will be all right. He has agreed, and everything will be all right soon. So, and now the question comes, of handkerchief comes again. Where should I lose that handkerchief? Now she understands. Desdemona understands that she has lost her handkerchief, and she is trying to find it out. Then she asks Emilia, now where did I lose my handkerchief? Emilia, I know not, madam. I don't know, madam. Then Desdemona says, believe me, I would rather have lost my purse full of crusaders, and my noble Moor is true of mind and made of no such baseness as jealous creatures are. It were enough to put him to ill thinking. Well, I am lucky that my husband is of a good nature. Otherwise, this is enough, to put any ordinary man into a jealous state of mind, to suspect me of, some foul play. So I am lucky. My husband is not of that nature, not a jealous type of man. Well, she says, believe me. So she understands she has lost the handkerchief. Believe me, I would rather have lost my purse full of crusaders. I would rather have lost a purse full of gold coins, crusaders, because this would be enough to make my husband suspect me, to suspect foul play, that I have played some trick, I have deceived him, I have cheated him. Any ordinary man would suspect. But, well, my husband, fortunately, he is free from jealousy. He is free of jealousy. Then Emilia asks a very, very specific question. Look, because I think she is more practical. She has more, worldly wisdom. Emilia. Desdemona is very young, a very young and innocent girl without, much practical wisdom, without much worldly knowledge. But Emilia is more experienced. She is more, she has more, worldly wisdom. Emilia puts a very, very specific question. Is he not jealous? Is Othello not jealous? Then Desdemona says, who? He? Othello? I think the son where he was born, in his native place, അവൻ ജനിച്ച സ്ഥലത്ത് സൂര്യൻ അതിഭയങ്കരമായിട്ടുള്ള ചൂടോടുകൂടി സൂര്യൻ ഉദിച്ചു നിൽക്കുന്ന കാരണം ആ സൂര്യന്റെ ചൂടിൽ ഇവന്റെ ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള സാധാരണ മനുഷ്യന്മാരുടെ ചില ദൗർബല്യങ്ങൾ, കൊച്ചു കൊച്ചു അസൂയ, കുശുമ്പ് തുടങ്ങിയ കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ ആ ചൂടിനകത്ത് ലയിച്ചു പോയി എന്നാണ് അവൾ പറയുന്നത്. I think the sun where he was born drew all such humor, in the olden days, in those days, in the science, in those natural science, the human science, people used to believe that, human body was made of, like our Ayurveda, ഈ കഫം രക്തം എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നത് പോലെ, human body was made up of, 4 humors. One is blood, one is phlegm, and one is, yellow, white bile and black bile. 4 humors. And it depends on, it depends the nature of a human being, what type of, a person is. It depends upon, the way, the proportion in which, these humors, are consisted, within the human body. The way in which, if it should be in a balanced state of mind, to have a balanced personality, these 4 humors should be in a balanced way, should be arranged in a balanced way. If you find, for example, phlegm, if it is more than the normal, well, the person would be, bad-tempered. Blood, for example, if it is more than the normal, well, he would be more active, more enthusiastic. So it is like that in humors. That is the meaning of the word humor there. Now, who he? I think the sun where he was born, in his native place, the sun drew all such humors from him. So the sun burnt out, all such tendencies and, such as jealousy and such other emotions, from him. So he is free of jealousy. This is what, she means. Then Emilia says, look where he comes. See, here comes Othello. Well, Desdemona says, I will not leave him. ഞാൻ അവനെ വിടില്ല. Till Cassio be called to him. കാഷിയോയ്ക്ക് അവന്റെ ജോലി തിരിച്ചു കൊടുക്കുന്നത് വരെ ഞാൻ അവനെ വിടില്ല. I am going to pester him. I am going to trouble him. Well, here comes Othello. Othello enters. Now, she asks, the greetings. Well, Desdemona, how is it with you? Othello enters. How is it with you? How are you, my lord? Then Othello says, well, my good lady, I am fine. Then aside, അവൻ തന്നെ പറയാൻ, he speaks to himself. He tells himself, oh, Hardness to pretend. Ambo. Bhayangara natyam. Hardness. Very hard to pretend. കണ്ടില്ലേ, ഒന്നും സംഭവിക്കുക, as if nothing has happened. Hardness to dissemble. What a pretension. Oh, she's a very good actor. Now, so he leaves the aside. Now he asks openly. Now, how do you, Desdemona? How do you do? How are you, Desdemona? Then Desdemona, because she's innocent. She's a very, very innocent girl. She doesn't know anything because his mind is full of, fancies, ghosts. His mind is, very much obsessed because he, at this moment, Othello strongly believes that Desdemona has cheated him, has deceived him. Desdemona has slept with Cassio. At this point, he strongly believes that. Well, my good lord, then Othello says, give me your hand. Give me your hand. Why give me your hand? Because he says, this hand is moist, my lady. Nanavundallo kaike. Because, moist hands were supposed to indicate a tendency towards love. More love, more loving. She easily gives her love to, anyone. So, this is a sort of insinuation. Because, the moist hand was supposed to indicate a presence of, excess love. Now, give me your hand. This hand is moist, my lady. Then Desdemona says, it yet hath felt no age. It is still very young. Oh, elam kayalle. Njan kunyalle, njan cherudalle. I am not experienced. I am not aged. I am a very, very little young, soft girl. It yet hath felt no age, nor known no sorrow, because it is inexperienced. Since I am very, very inexperienced, well, my hand feels like that. My hand feels moist. Then Othello, then this argues fruitfulness and liberal heart. No, it says moist hand. A palm is moist means, you are very, very fertile. Very, very fertile. Capable of, giving birth to, a large number of children. Very fertile, number one. Number two, and you have got a giving heart. You are very, very liberal heart. This argues fruitfulness and liberal heart. Oh, hot and moist. Hot means, lustful, full of lust, full of, sexual love, and moist. So moist means lustful. Hot and moist. This hand of yours requires a sequester from liberty, fasting, and prayer. ഇങ്ങനെയുള്ള ആളുകൾ ദൂരെ മാറിയിരുന്ന് വീട്ടിലിരുന്ന് ഒരുപാട് ത്യാഗം ചെയ്യണം. Like fasting, prayer, because otherwise, people like you are likely to err, likely to make mistakes, likely to err in life. Sequester, our quarantine. They should move away from people. They should fast. They should pray. Much castigation. They should be very devout. Read Bible. Go to church. Think of God. Always be involved in prayer. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. Much castigation, because excites devote. For here is young and sweating devil here. A devil is inside, and that commonly rebels. It's a good hand, a frank one. All right, you have to be very, very careful. Unless you are very, very careful, you are going to be in trouble, because you will easily fall a prey to temptations. To ward off, to stave off temptations, you have to fast and pray and you have to enforce a very, very strict discipline on yourself. Then Desdemona says, you may indeed say so. എന്ത് വേണേ പറ. You may indeed say so, for it was that hand that gave away your heart. നീ ഒരു കാര്യം മറക്കരുത്. When you say this, ഈ കയ്യിലാണ് എൻ്റെ ഹൃദയം നിനക്ക് വെച്ച് തന്നത് എന്ന് നീ മറക്കരുത്. Now you are blaming me. You are blaming my hand. You say that you are finding fault with my hand. You say that my hand is it is moist and it is lustful. Then I have to enforce a strict discipline in myself to be a gentle lady. You are blaming me. You are finding fault with me. But don't forget that it was this hand that gave you my own heart. Don't forget. Then Othello says, a liberal hand. A liberal hand. See, you are a liberal type of person. You are my wife. You love me. At the same time, you love everybody. This is not good because you are so liberal. A liberal hand. And the hearts of old. പണ്ട് കാലത്ത് ആളുകൾ കൈ കൊടുക്കുമ്പോൾ ആ കൈക്കകത്ത് ഹൃദയം വെച്ച് കൊടുക്കുമായിരുന്നു. ഇപ്പൊ കൈ മാത്രമേ കൊടുക്കത്തുള്ളൂ, ഹൃദയം കൊടുക്കില്ല. This is what he said. A liberal hand. The hearts of old. In the past, in the ancient days, people in the hearts of old gave hands. People, they used to give their hearts in their hands. But now, in the modern days, new gen, as we say, our new heraldry is hands. They give only hands, not hearts. Now, Desdemona, she becomes very impatient. Now, I cannot speak of this. I don't want to speak more about this. Come now, your promise. Tell me about your promise. Don't forget that. What about that? Then Othello asks, what promise, my dear Chuck? What promise? What promise are you talking about? Then Desdemona says, I have sent for. ഞാൻ ആളെ അയച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. I have sent to bid Cassio, to ask Cassio to come and speak with you. I have sent for a person to ask Cassio to come and speak with you. Othello says, I have a salt and sorry rheum offends me. I have a very, very rheumatism, jaladosham. I have a salt and sorry rheum offends me. There is a very, very bad cold that is bothering me. എനിക്ക് ഭയങ്കര തലവേദന. മോളെ ആ handkerchief ഒന്ന് തരാമോ? See, she's in trouble. Desdemona is in trouble. He's asking for the handkerchief. Now, a little while ago, when he said that he had a bad headache, well, she was trying to cover his forehead with the handkerchief. He just pushed it away. And, it fell on the floor, unnoticed by Othello and Desdemona. Well, Emilia was watching. When these people left, Emilia took it. She took it up, and she has already given it to Iago. And, it has traveled its own way as per the designs and plans of, Othello. Well, now, it is missing. And it is at this point that he tells Desdemona, he asks Desdemona for the hand. I feel a very, very bad headache here. A severe flu, cold and headache. Please give me thy handkerchief. Then Desdemona, here, my lord? Ippo veno? Here? Now itself? Yes. The one that I gave you, that which I gave you. Desdemona, I have it not about me. It is not with me. I don't have it with me. Then Othello, not? You don't? Illanno? Yes. No, indeed, my lord. Then Othello says, oh, that's a fault. That's very bad. It's not good. Why is it not good? Now here, he is going to tell the story of handkerchief. The story of the handkerchief. He says, well, this was given to my wife, my mother, by an Egyptian old woman, a witch, a magician. Well, she said, look at what he says about the story. That handkerchief did an Egyptian to my mother gave. This handkerchief was given to my mother by an Egyptian old woman, and she was a charmer. She was a witch. She was, a magician, a witch, and could almost read the thoughts of people. She could read people's thoughts. ആളുകളുടെ ഭാവി പറയാൻ പറ്റുന്ന, ചിന്തകൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്ന ഒരു സ്ത്രീയായിരുന്നു ആ ഈജിപ്ഷ്യൻ വുമൺ. Well, she told her that witch, that Egyptian witch, magician, old woman told my mother, told her, while she kept it, so long as this handkerchief is with her, ഇത് അവരുടെ ആ അമ്മയുടെ കയ്യിൽ, എൻ്റെ അമ്മയുടെ കയ്യിൽ ഉള്ളിടത്തോളം കാലം അവരുടെ കുടുംബ ബന്ധം ഭദ്രമായിരിക്കും. My mother's husband, my father, would always love her, would always be faithful to her, would always be with her. But the moment she loses, the moment my mother loses the handkerchief, well, my father, her husband, will stop loving her, and she will be looking for other damsels, other girls. He will go around the village looking for other girls for pleasure, for happiness. Well, this is what is going to happen. So this is the story of the handkerchief. That handkerchief did an Egyptian to my mother give. Any problem? അല്ലെ? ശബ്ദം വല്ലതും കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? അലൻ, അക്ഷയ്, എന്താ, എന്തെങ്കിലും പ്രശ്നമുണ്ടോ? ഓക്കെ, shall we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Right, clear ആണല്ലോ അല്ലേ?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the story of the handkerchief, and he says, well, that handkerchief did an Egyptian to my mother give. She was a charmer, she was a witch, she was a magician, and could almost read the thoughts of people. She told her, while she kept this handkerchief, it would make her amiable. She will be lovable and subdue my father. Well, my father would love her. It would make her amiable, subdue my father entirely to her love. So long as she kept the handkerchief, my father would belong to her. But if she lost it or made a gift of it, my father's eye should hold her loathed. My father would start hating her, and his spirits should hunt after new fancies. He will be looking for new fancies, new girls. She dying at the time of her death, when my mother died, she gave it me and bid me. So when my mother died, she gave the handkerchief to me, and she bid me, she asked me, when my fate would have me wife at the time of my marriage, to give it her. I was supposed to give it to my wife. When I married, when I have a wife, I should hand over this handkerchief to my wife. I did so. ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ ചെയ്തു. and take heed on it, well, you should pay attention. You have to be very, very careful. Make it a darling. You should treat it as something very, very precious. Like your precious eye. കണ്ണിലെ കൃഷ്ണമണി പോലെ സൂക്ഷിക്കണം. And like precious eye. To lose it, if you lose it, or give it away, where such perdition, well, if you happen to lose it, if you happen to part with it, it is going to be such, oh no, it's very bad. It's going to be a very, very terrible loss as nothing else could match, like none other. It is going to be very, very terrible if you lose it. Desdemona asks, is it possible? Because she is more sensible, she is more scientific, she is more rational. Is it possible? She is more rational, not superstitious, because this is a superstitious belief, and he completely believes in it, in the superstition. But she is more rational and scientific. Well, she has got a better temperament because she's European. The other one, comes from the Moor of Africa. He is from Africa, and she's from Europe. She was more educated, so she has got a scientific temperament. So no, it's not possible. Then Othello says, no, it is true. There is a magic web in it. There is magic in its fabric. A 200-year-old witch, there is magic in the web of it. A sybil, a witch, an old woman, that had numbered in the world the sun to course 200 compasses. 200 സൂര്യചന്ദ്രന്മാരെ കണ്ട ഒരു സ്ത്രീ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ 200 വയസ്സ് ജീവിച്ചിരുന്ന ഒരു സ്ത്രീ. A woman, who was 200-year-old, a witch, a 200-year-old witch had sewed it. അവർ തുന്നിയെടുത്തതാണ്. 200 വയസ്സ് പ്രായമുള്ള ഒരു മന്ത്രവാദിനി തുന്നിയ സാധനമാണിത്. This was, sewn by a 200-year-old witch. The sun took course 200 compasses, and in her prophetic fury sewed the work. She sewed it. The worms were hallowed that did breed the silk. The silk. ഇത് പട്ടുനൂലുമാണ്. The silk came from sacred silkworms, very, very holy, divine silkworms, and it was dyed. ഇതിന്റെ കളർ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് മമ്മി, ഒരു വെർജിൻ, അതായത് ഒരു കന്യകയായിട്ടുള്ള പെണ്ണ്, മരിച്ച പെണ്ണ്, കന്യക, വിവാഹം കഴിക്കാത്ത അവിവാഹിതയായിട്ടുള്ള ശുദ്ധയായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു പെണ്ണ്, മരിച്ച പെണ്ണ്, അവളുടെ ഹൃദയത്തിൽ നിന്ന് ഊറി വന്ന രക്തം, ആ രക്തം കൂട്ടത്തിൽ മുക്കിയ സാധനമാണിത്. Look, the superstitious belief, and it was dyed in mummy, Egyptian mummy, which the skillful conserved of maidens' hearts. So this handkerchief was dyed with a fluid that oozed out, that came from the embalmed virgin's heart, from the heart of the virgin. So this is the story of the handkerchief, Desdemona. Indeed, is it true? As I said, she is more rational and more scientific. Is it true? Really? ഇത്രയൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടോ? അങ്ങനെ സംഭവിക്കുമോ? Is it true? Then Othello says, most veritable. Yes, it is absolutely true. Most veritable. Therefore, look to it well. So you should take good care of it. Take care of the handkerchief, Desdemona. Then, would to God, I wish, അയ്യോ, ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു സാധനം ഞാൻ കണ്ടിട്ടില്ലായിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ ആഗ്രഹിക്കാം. നീ എനിക്ക് തരണ്ടായിരുന്നു. Because it is something very, very dear to you. I am very much afraid. I wish to God that I had never seen it. ദൈവമേ, ഇതൊരിക്കലും കാണാതിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു സാധനം. Othello, wherefore? Why are you speaking like that? Then Desdemona, why do you speak so startlingly and rash? No, why are you yelling at me? Why are you shouting at me? You have changed a lot. What happened? Why are you yelling? Why are you shouting? Why are you so angry with me? Othello, is it lost? Is the handkerchief lost? Is it gone? Speak. Is it out of the way? Is it missing? Then Desdemona, oh, heaven bless us. God, please help me. Then say you? What do you say? Tell me. What do you say? What is the answer? What do you say to yourself? Say you? Then Desdemona, it is not lost. But what and if it were? It is not lost. But what if it were lost? It is not lost. But what if it is not lost? Then Othello asks, how? I say it's not lost. Fetch it, let me see it. Come on, bring it here. I want to see that. Then Desdemona, I could, sir. I could. Why? I can, sir. But I will not now, but not now. I cannot produce it now. Because this is a trick. I know. ഇത് മറ്റേ കാഷിയോയുടെ അപ്പോയിൻമെന്റ് വൈകിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു തന്ത്രമാണ് നിൻ്റെത്. I know. This is a trick to put me from my suit, to keep my mind away from my request. What I am asking for? I am asking for the reinstatement of Cassio. Oh, this is a clever trick on your part to stop me from asking for the reinstatement of Cassio. Pray you, let Cassio be received again. Othello, fetch me the handkerchief. My mind gives. He says, I want to see that. I want to see my handkerchief. Then Desdemona, come on. You will never meet a more sufficient man. ഇതിനേക്കാൾ നല്ല ഒരു വ്യക്തിയെ നിനക്കൊരിക്കലും കിട്ടില്ല. See, he is speaking about the handkerchief and she is speaking about Cassio. Come. You will never meet a more sufficient man. You will never find a man who is more appropriate, more capable of being a lieutenant. Othello, the handkerchief. Desdemona, I pray. Talk me of Cassio. Come on. Please talk about Cassio. Don't talk about the handkerchief. Othello says, the handkerchief. She says. Then Desdemona says, a man that all his time had found. See, look at that. He wants to see the handkerchief and she is talking about Cassio. And he wants to see the handkerchief and she's again talking about, Cassio. And she is going to be in trouble. A man that all his time had founded his good fortunes on your love, shared dangers with you. Oh, he's a man, he was very, very loving. He was very, very sincere. He was very, very dedicated. He was very honest. And, he shared dangers with you. Othello says, the handkerchief. Desdemona, in sooth, you are to blame. Come on. I think you are not behaving properly. Then Othello, damn it. He exits. He gets very angry. He shouts. He insists on seeing the handkerchief and he very angrily goes out. Is not this man jealous? Is he not jealous? Desdemona, I never saw this before. Hey, this is the first time that I am seeing him. He has never behaved like this. What happened? I don't know. I never saw this before. Sure, there is some wonder in that handkerchief. I started believing that there is some magic in that because she never believed. She was more rational, she was more scientific, and she didn't believe when he said that this was made by an Egyptian, dyed with the blood that oozed out from the mummy of a virgin girl, and things like that. Divine silkworm, silk produced by a divine silkworm, and all this. She never believed, but she says, "What happened? Is there any magic? Is it possible that there is some magic in the handkerchief? I am most unhappy on the loss of it. No, I am very, very unhappy about it. Now, I am very, very miserable that I have lost it. Then Emilia says, it is not a year or two shows us a man. 1-2 വർഷം കൊണ്ടൊരു മനുഷ്യനെ ഒന്നും പഠിക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല, കാലങ്ങളെടുക്കും. ഈ ആണുങ്ങളെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അങ്ങനെ യുവമാര് മുഴുവൻ വയറാണ്. ഈ വയറ്റിനകത്ത് നമ്മളെ തിന്നുകയാണ്. തിന്ന് വയറ് നിറഞ്ഞു കഴിയുമ്പം അവന്മാർ നമ്മളെ ശബ്ദിച്ചു കളയും. See, this is what Emilia says. Emilia's opinion about men. പുരുഷന്മാരെ പറ്റി എമിലിയുടെ, this is what she says. This is her opinion about men. It is not a year or two shows us a man. It takes a longer time. It takes a longer time than a year or two to see how bad men are. They are like stomachs. They are full of stomach. They are all but stomachs. And we, what are we? All but food. They are stomach and we are their food. To eat us hungrily. They eat us up hungrily. And when they are full, when the stomachs are full, they belch us. When they see, they go on eating us. They go on eating us because they are stomach and we are food. They go on eating us. And when their stomach is full, they just vomit. They just vomit us, belch us. Look you, Casio and my husband. See, they are coming. Casio and my husband Iago are coming. Well, Iago says there is no other way. There ഒരു മാർഗവുമില്ല. He is advising Casio. There is no other way. It is she must do it. She can do that. She is the only person who can do that. And lo, the happiness. Wish you happiness. Good luck. Go and importune her. You go. She is there. Go ahead and ask her. Please go and ask her. Then Desdemona says, how now, good Cassio? What's the news with you? What's the news? Then Cassio says, Madam, my former suit. My suit, what about now? My earlier request, what about that? So, I think we'll stop here.